Hi children, I welcome you to my next session. I hope you are all safe in home. Please wash your hands very frequently to stay away from the COVID-19 and also we have to maintain the social distance wherever you go outside. So be safe and protect you and protect the society also. And then I just kindly advise you to watch all our videos without skipping, because many of us we do not watch completely. So I just ask you to watch the video completely from beginning to end, which is going to be very useful for you, because in future we have to learn only through online. So we have to customize this. So I just kindly request you to watch it completely, all the videos, not only this but also all the videos. You must watch it from beginning to end. Let us continue the story. No news reached Akshinov from his home, and he did not even know if his wife and children were still alive. So he never got any message from home whether his wife, his children were alive. One day, a fresh gang of convicts came to the prison. In the evening, the old prisoners collected around the new ones and asked them what towns or villages they came from and what they were sentenced for. Among the rest, Akshinov sat down near the newcomers and listened with downcast air to what was said. So one day a fresh gang of convicts came to that prison. So all the old prisoners called all other new prisoners and asked them where you are from. So why did you come into the jail? So they questioned all these kind of many questions. Among that, Akshinov also sat and listened what they are asking. One of the new convicts, a tall, strong man of 60 with a closely cropped grey beard, was telling the others what he had. Actually, other tall man, first 60, that convict was telling what he did, why he came there. So he was explaining in detail. Well, friends, he said, that convict, the above 60 convict said, well, friends, I only took a horse that was tied to a sledge, and I was arrested and accused of stealing. I said I had only taken it to get home quicker, and then let it go. Besides, the driver was a personal friend of mine. So I said, it's all right. No, said they, you stole it, but how or where I stole it, they could not say. So, well, friends, he started saying that what he said, I took a horse from the sledge. Sledge is a cart, horse wheel carriage. Actually, he took a horse and he just rode on the horse to reach his home quickly. And after reaching the home, he let it go somewhere. But the officer came and charged him for stealing the horse. I once really did something wrong and ought by rights to have come here long ago, but that time I was not found. Now I have been sent here for nothing at all, but it's a lies I am telling you. I have been to Siberia before, but I did not stay long. So already I committed a mistake, already I made wrong, but I was not here. But now I had done nothing, but now I am here. I am going to stay no longer here. Definitely I will go away from here. He said, where are you from? Asked someone. Suddenly a person asked him, where are you from? The man told, from Vladimir, my family are of the town. My name is Makar, and they also call me Semyonich. He just introduced himself. He was from Vladimir. His name was Makar, and also people called him Semyonich. Akshino raised his head and said, "Tell me, Semyonich, do you know anything of the merchants Akshino of Vladimir? Are they still alive?" Suddenly, Akshino raised his head and started asking question. "Have you heard about the Akshinos in Vladimir?" He asked that old man, okay, who passed 60. "Know them? Of course I do. The Akshinos are rich. Though their father is in Siberia, a sinner like ourselves, it seems. As for your granddad, how did you come here?" Immediately he replied, "Yes, I know. The Akshinos are very rich. Actually, their father also in Siberian jail. So like us, he too made some sin, so that he was here. He is here now." So that old man explained to the Akshino. Akshino did not like to speak his misfortune. He only sighed and said, "For my sins I have been in prison these 26 years. So that past 60 man asked the Akshino, "Why did you come to jail?" Okay, immediately he replied, he does not want to say that what had happened to him. So my sin, so that I am here almost for more than 26 years. I spent my life in jail. "What sins?" asked Marcus Semyonich, but Akshino only said, well, I must have deserved it." He would have said no more. So he did not want to say anything. I made sin so that I am here. He did not say anything else. But his companions told the newcomers how Akshino came to be in Siberia. But other prisoners started saying about Akshino, why he came here, what purpose he was charged. How someone had killed a merchant, had put the knife among Akshino's things, and Akshino had been unjustly condemned. So how the people, actually someone murdered that merchant and he put the knife in Akshino's bag, so that he was charged. So this message was conveyed to that past 60 man. Yes. When Makar Semyonich heard this, he looked at Akshino, slapped his own knee and exclaimed, "Well, this is wonderful, really wonderful, but how old you have grown, old granddad." So immediately, okay, that man, Makar Semyonich, started tapping his knees. And he said, "Wonderful, it's really wonderful." He said in excitement, "I never expected that you had grown like a grandfather, granddad." So Semyonich, with more excitement, he started saying like this. The others asked him why he was so surprised and where he had seen Akshino before, but Makar Semyonich did not reply. He only said, "It's wonderful that we should meet here, lads." So other prisoners started asking him, "Why you so surprised?" But Makar Semyonich did not say a single word, but because we all meet here, that's why I said it's a wonderful. Okay. How could I help hearing the words full of rumors? But it's a long time ago and I have forgotten what I heard. Actually, I heard rumors. It means I think many messages passed. I heard it. Once I heard that matter, but now I have forgotten it. I don't remember that. That Makar Semyonich said, "Perhaps you heard who killed the merchant?" asked Akshino. "But you know who killed the merchant?" Akshino started asking the Makar Semyonich. Makar Semyonich laughed and replied, "It must have been him in whose bag the knife was found. If someone else hid the knife there, he is not a thief till he is caught. As the saying is, how could anyone put a knife into your bag while it was under your head? It would surely have woke up you." up. So immediately Marcus Simeonich laughed and said, definitely that murder had been done by you. So because no one can put the knife into your bag, which bag was under your head, so nobody come. If somebody had done, definitely he might have caught, but the bag was under your head, then how could? So the merchant was murdered by you, said the Marcus Simeonich. When Askino heard these words, he felt sure this was the man who had killed the merchant. When he heard this content, immediately he realized, Akshino realized this man, Marcus Simeonich, killed that merchant. So he realized, he understood. He rose and went away. All that night, Akshino lay awake. After hearing this news, Akshino couldn't sleep. So throughout the night, he was sleepless. He felt terribly unhappy, and all sorts of images rose in his mind. So after listening this message, he became so unhappy, so he could not sleep, and he started recollecting all the thing what had happened to him. Yes. There was the image of his wife as she was when he parted from her to go to the fair. When he saw her as if she were present, her face and her eyes rose before him. Now, he recollected his wife's image when he started the fair. So his wife, how she gave goodbye to him, and all those things so came in front of him like an image. He heard her speak and laugh. Then he saw his children quite little as they were at the time, one with a little clock on, another at his mother's breast. So, and also now he recollected the children. One was playing with the clock, other was breast. So that was an infant. So that was an infant. Yes. And then he remembered himself as he used to be a young and merry, and also he recollected. Now he became very old, and he recollected his youth, how he enjoyed in his youth days. He recollected that. Yes. He remembered how he sat playing the guitar in the porch of inn where he was arrested, and how free from care he had been. And also he recollected while he was playing the guitar, he was arrested. So from that point he recollected before that how he had been. So he had been very happy. He saw in his mind the place where he was flogged, the executioner, and the people standing around, the chains, the convicts, all the 26 years of his prison life and his premature old age. The thought of it all made him wretched that he was ready to kill himself. And also he recollected how he was taken to the jail, and among the convicts, among the criminals, among the prisoners, he felt so bad and he wanted to kill himself of thinking all about this. Okay. Really he became so disappointed and he wanted to kill himself. And it's all that villain's doing, thought Akshino. And his anger was so great against Marcus Simeonich that he longed for vengeance. So suddenly what the villain could do, all those things, he suddenly wanted to take revenge to Marcus Simeonich. So because the anger came in him, so to wanted to take revenge. Even if he himself should perish for, he kept repeating prayers all night but could get no peace. During the day he did not go near Marcus Simeonich, nor even look at him. So he just kept on praying. He never wanted to go near the Marcus Simeonich, and also even never wanted to see him also. A fortnight passed in this way. Akshino could not sleep at night and was so miserable that he did not know what to do. So 14 nights almost passed. After 14 nights he did not sleep properly. So, and also he did not know what to do. So, he was always thinking about that, what he had happened. So, what can I do for him? So, he was always thinking like this. Yes. One night, as he was walking about the prison, he noticed some earth that came rolling out from under one of the shelves on which prisoners slept. So suddenly he was noticed some earth is rolling out, coming out. Somebody is digging there from the shelves. He noticed. Actiono noticed that. Yes. He stopped to see what it was. Suddenly, Marcus Simeonich crept out from under the frightened face. So he wanted to see why the earth coming out. So who digging that? So immediately he wanted to see. When he saw that, so the Marcus Simeonich came out of there with fear. So Actiono tried to pass without looking at him, but Marcus seized his hand and told him that he had dug a hole under the wall, getting rid of the earth by putting it into his boots and emptying it every day on the road when the prisoners were driven to their work. So Actiono never wanted to see him, he just moved, but Marcus seized, captured him and asked and told him, every day I am digging a tunnel to escape. So I fill my boots. When the prisoners go for their work, I'll throw it on the road. So soon I am going to escape. He said that. Yes. Just you keep quiet, old man, and you shall get out too. If you blab, they will flog the life out of me, but I will kill you first. If you leak this matter, definitely they will give lots of whip. So I cannot bear it. Before that, I will kill you. So Marcus Simeonich said like this. Actiono trembled with anger as he looked at his enemy. He drew his hand away, saying, I have no wish to escape, and you have no need to kill me. You killed me long ago. As to telling of you, I may do so or not, as God shall direct. Actiono, so with fear, with shaking, with anger, he just took away his hand and told me, I don't have any idea to escape from the prison, and also you had already killed me once. So I don't do anything for you. The God will see that. So what is going to happen for you? Yes. Next day, when convicts were led out to work, the convoy of soldiers noticed that one or other of the prisoners emptied some earth out of his boots. The prison was searched and the tunnel found. So suddenly what happened? One day the soldiers were convoy going rounds. Suddenly they found out some prisoners are throwing the earth, throwing some mud and sand on the roads. Finally they found someone is digging a tunnel, and they started searching in all the prison. Okay. The governor came and questioned all the prisoners to find out who had dug the hole. They all denied any knowledge of it. The governor came to the spot and asked many questions, who did this? But all of them said, we don't know. Yes. Those who knew would not betray Marcus Simeonich, knowing he would be flogged almost to death. So those, if anybody knows, if they say, definitely he would be beaten a lot. So nobody wanted to say this. Yes. At last, the governor turned to Actiono, whom he knew to be a just man, and said, finally he came to Actiono. Governor asked Actiono, you are a truthful old man. Tell me before God who dug the hole. Yes, he just asked, you are a very gentleman, nice person, you are a very honest man. Tell me the truth, who dug the tunnel? So in front of the God. Okay. Yes. Marcus Simeonich stood as if he were quite unconcerned, looking at the governor and not so much glancing at Actiono. So at the time, Makar Semyonich was standing in very casual manner, not looking at the Semyonich, not looking at the Aksionov and not looking at the governor too. So Aksyonov's lips and hands trembled, and so for a long time he could not utter a word. He thought, but at the time Aksionov's lips and hands started trembling, shivering, but he did not say a word, single word. Why should I scream him who ruined my life? Let him pay for what I have suffered. But if I tell, they will probably flog the life out of him, and maybe I suspect him wrongly, and after all, what good would it be to me? So if I say, why? If the person who destroyed my life completely, if I say this, definitely he is going to be flogged. He is going to be given lots of beat, lots of whip, lots of punishment. So for that, if I think this is a wrong, then what it would be for me? So what I am going to do here after saying this? He thought like this. Okay, well, old man, repeated the governor, tell me the truth, who has been digging under the wall? And again governor questioned him, who dug that? Aksionov glanced at Makar Semyonich and said, I cannot say, your honor, it's not God's will that I should tell. Do you like with me? I am your aunt. So Aksionov glanced at Semyonich and told the governor, I cannot say, I don't reveal it, who dug that. So I am in your hands. If you want to punish me, you can punish. So Aksionov said like this. However much the governor tried, Aksionov would say no more, and so the matter had to be left. And after listening this, governor departed from the place because he is not going to say that. So he just left the place, leaving that matter. Yes. That night, when Aksionov was lying on his bed and just beginning to doze, someone came quickly and sat down on his bed. He peered through the darkness and recognized Makar. So at the night he was lying on the bed, did not sleep, he was just lying. A figure came to him and knelt down before that. That was Makar Semyonich. So he peered through the darkness and recognized the Makar, and also he recognized the Makar. He was the person. What more do you want me? Asked Aksionov. Why have you come here? Again, what do you want? Why did you come here? What do you need from me? Asked Aksionov to Makar Semyonich. Makar Semyonich was silent. So Aksionov sat up and said, what do you? Makar Semyonich bent close over and whispered, Ivan Dmitrich, forgive me. So then asked, Semyonich asked Aksionov, Ivan Dmitrich, please forgive me. So he wanted to forgive. Okay, yes. What for? Asked Aksionov. Why should I want to forgive you? We just asked. Okay. It was I who killed the merchant and hid the knife among your things. It was the person who killed the merchant, that is me. I killed him and I kept the knife in your bag. I am that person who killed it. Yes. I mean to kill you too, but I heard a noise outside, so I hid the knife in your bag and escaped out of the window. So actually, I tried to kill you too, but suddenly I heard a noise from outside, so that I just kept the knife in your bag and started going away. Aksionov was silent and did not know what to say. Makar Semyonich slid off the bed shelf and knelt upon the ground. Ivan Dmitrich said, forgive me, for the love of God, forgive me. I will confess that it was I who killed the merchant, and you will be released and can go to your home. So immediately he just knelt before the person, Aksionov, and started asking that. So because he realized his mistake, so what he had done, he realized, and he would confess all those things, and you will be released. I'll just go and confess the matter. so you will be released. So you can go home. He said, Marcus Simeonich said to Actiono. Yes. It is easy for you to talk, said Actiono, but I have suffered for you these 26 years. Where could I go to now? My wife is dead and my children have forgotten me. I have nowhere to go. It's very easy to say, but I spent you here almost 26 years in this prison. I have suffered a lot. So it is easy to say to you, but I suffered a lot. So I have almost my wife is dead. My children have forgotten me. Then where can I go? Where can I go? No, it's useless for me to go out, actually. Yes. Marcus Simeonich did not rise, but bit his head on the floor. Ivan Dimitrich, forgive me, he cried. But Marcus Simeonich did not, he started beating his head on the floor. So, and also asked to him to forgive. Okay. Actually, he realized, so he wanted to apologize. Yes. Ivan Dimitrich, forgive me, he cried. When they flogged me with knot, it was not so hard to bear as it is to see you now. Yet you had pity on me and did not tell. So even though whatever they asked, you did not reveal. So please, you had a pity on me. So please forgive me. He just asked. For Christ's sake, forgive me, wretch that I am. So I am the bad one. For the Christ's sake, at least Christ's sake, for the God's sake, you just forgive me, asked Marcus Simeonich, and began to sob. Okay, and began to sob. When Actiono heard him sobbing, he too began to weep. God will forgive you, said he. Maybe I am 100 times worse than you. And at these words his heart grew light, and the longing for home left him. So he no longer had any desire to leave the prison, but only hoped for his last hours to come. So when he heard all this from the Marcus Simeonich, Actiono also started crying, and there is no point to leave out from the prison. And also he was expecting the last time for his life. So actually he was expecting that for his death. Okay, he doesn't need to go away from the prison. So in spite of what Actiono had said, Marcus Simeonich confessed his guilt. But when the order for his release came, Actiono was already dead. But actually Marcus Simeonich accepted his crime, what he had done. So order has been released to release the Ivan Dimitrich Actiono. But before the order reached to him, he was dead. He had already died before getting that message that he is going to be released. So that is the story. So we are very clear the story. Now we have to understand the theme of the story. What is the theme of the story actually? So we should have the faith in the God. So we have to believe that definitely God one day will punish if you do anything wrong. So we have to believe in the God, and also we should have the mentality to forgive others. So that is conveyed the main theme. Okay, forgive. So you have to forgive, and also another theme. What is the theme is mentioned in the story. So you have to realize, you have to understand what the mistake you have done, and you have to feel for that. So you should forgive your enemy. So, but don't forget that incident. You have to forgive the enemies. You have to forgive that, and if you do any wrong, you have to realize and you have to apologize to that. That is also conveyed in the story. That there is a famous saying in the Tamil. So I would like to say that Mannipu ketpavan manidan, mannikka therindavan magan. This is a famous Tamil saying. So here I would like to convey this, and also I would like to convey Buddha quotes. One Buddha quote. Through this, how the Marcus Simeonich realized his mistake. So, like this same saying, like this saying, குறையே இல்லாத மனிதன் இல்லை, குறையே செய்யாத மனிதனும் இல்லை, அந்த குறையை மாற்றிக்கொள்ளாதவன் மனிதனே இல்லை. So we have to understand the story. That's about the story. I hope you you have understood very well. And then the examination point, there is a 5-mark question in it. So we should know the characters and the sequence of the stories, when it happens, where it happens, who comes in the story, so where the character exits, and all these things we have to remember in sequential order. Okay, so that will help you to write the paragraph. So remember it, and remember the main theme of the story. This is actually the story is a psycho-emotional story. So it deals with emotion, and psychologically also it deals a person. It's called psycho-emotional story. The writer has written like in this mood. So we should have those things. So keep it in your mind. Thank you so much.